America. The State Department asked for them, unlike trans musicals or Sesame Street in Iraq. No one asked for that. Most of the country wants that stuff cut, and Democrats should too.
People want the government to work better. They believe that Mr. Musk, one of the most extraordinary entrepreneurs in human history, who does not fail at just about anything, they want him to do this, most Americans. They wanted Trump. They elected him. Democrats are only focused on one thing right now, Mr. Musk. The fact of the matter, he's quite popular. He has the largest platform in human history, which is, of course, Twitter/X. And I think we're missing the boat as Democrats. And Democrats are being steamrolled.
This isn't just about money. It's about people behind the scenes abusing power they don't have to finance sick and twisted fantasies like migrant shopping sprees and sex changes and reverse racism and injecting narcotics into animals. Doge is a blessing from the heavens above. The Wall Street Journal puts it this way, quote, Elon Musk's glorious rampage through official Washington is like something from a dream. Even Ronald Reagan, the great apostle of smaller government, couldn't achieve in 8 years what Mr. Musk has done in 3.5 weeks. The billionaire businessman is less apostle than avenging angel. The Department of Government Efficiency is the change we've been waiting for. The Democrats got caught cold in the middle of a bank heist. Doge walked into the vault, Democrats were stuffing wads of cash in their bags, and they're mad that Musk is telling them to put the bags down. The bank robbers aren't the victims here. The American taxpayers are. Kayleigh McEnany's a co-host of Outnumbered and former White House press secretary. Kayleigh, I am having so much fun finding out the fraud. This is a dream come true for a journalist, and I can imagine any conservative or any common sense American voter to find out what they're
Herman. And Jesse, the freak out is something to behold. I mean, look, you have everyone acknowledging we have a huge national debt crisis. And you have President Trump. I remember that prior to President Trump, I'm sure you do too, of Republicans pushing Granny off the cliff. Pushing her off the cliff because they want to cut Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security. Well, President Trump says, let's go after the rat badge in Gaza. Let's go after...
Come see us on tour. We're going to be in Baltimore, Hartford, Connecticut, Syracuse, Atlantic City, Levittown, New York, Cohoes, New York, and Providence, Rhode
Fox
Island.
News. I mean, I listen to Fox
for
News.
list of tickets. Glenn Greenwald
I can't handle
it
all
says
the
those who
time.
fail to refuse to see the massive opportunities from this Trump-led realignment and instead enslave themselves to the broken, ossified,
I don't like
unimaginative
trust regular
status
news
quo
very much.
perpetuating Democratic
News
Party are some of the dumbest people on the planet. The smarter and more honest leftists around the world can see this and give Trump credit where it's due. The only ones who refuse are the media liberals who built their life and brand in enslavement to the Democratic Party and can never see or acknowledge it. What are we talking about? Well, here's a clip of the new defense secretary laying down the law to the NATO people over at the Munich Security Council. That's where Anna Kasparian said it was an honor to talk to a genocider. Remember that? Yeah. And so here he is, and he's gonna let you know what Donald Trump's plan is for Ukraine. Are you ready for this? I'll tell you who isn't ready for this. The other NATO countries. They're not ready for this.
Oh, we should have blown that pipeline up.
Yeah. Wah. Here we go.
And I appreciate the opportunity to share President Trump's approach to the war in Ukraine. We are at, as you said, Mr. Secretary, a critical moment. As the war approaches its 3rd anniversary, our message is clear. The bloodshed must stop, and this war must end. President Trump has been clear with the American people, and with many...
Could you imagine Joe Biden or Antony Blinken saying something like that?
No, I can imagine it's up to Israel. We can't tell Israel when to stop the bloodshed. We really can only pay for it.
Of your leaders. That stopping the fighting and reaching an enduring peace is a top priority. He intends to end this war by diplomacy and bringing both Russia and Ukraine to the table. And the U.S. Department of Defense will help achieve this goal. We will only end this devastating war and establish a durable peace by coupling allied strength with a realistic assessment of the battlefield.
Realistic.
See, that's something that Europe has not heard, that NATO has not heard for years.
They
Number one, that
So how's my
we're going with
Kung Fu
end the war.
sequel?
We will continue it. And number two, that you have to be realistic about the state of the war, the battlefield, which is extremely favorable for Russia and extremely unfavorable for Ukraine. And if the war continues, it will only get more so because Ukraine is running out of soldiers, running out of people to send to the front line, whereas Russia is not. To hear this, it's like music to one's ears. This is the sort of thing that a lot of us have been saying for 3 years now.
And we would be one of those people. We said it the minute the war started, that this war is going to end the way Russia wants it to end. And this is not going to be good for Ukraine. And all those people lied to you and said Ukraine's winning the war. I had asshole after asshole after a-hole in my DMs,
this side more,
comedians
but
that I know
can't 'cause I
personally,
put my back
telling
to
me
everything.
that Ukraine's winning the war.
Wouldn't be able to
Ukraine's
see
you got to
anything.
think you're on the
So
wrong
just
side of
work
this,
here.
man. People who believe what they read in the New York Times, the Washington Post, and here on the TV news.
Should practice.
Who also don't care about
Moving
Ukraine,
around.
Let's be honest.
You know,
So-
chop,
Told them
buddy.
that they care about it, and they cared about it.
More
And
stuff
then
on
when
you.
Ukraine loses less territory than they had to start, all
Lay
the
down.
guys are going to just have, you're going to go, hey,
Seafood.
I'm not Ukraine. They're
Get
gonna go,
comfortable,
What?
seafood.
I don't. It's just like it's over. And so there you have it. That's Pete Hegseth, the new defense secretary. Like a white buffalo, a very rare sighting of a high-ranking political figure saying the war is supposed to be over rather than continue forever.
And he had questionable tattoos, if you recall, the
Yes.
news reported.
Yeah, questionable.
Not more questionable than when Pete Davidson got Hillary Clinton tattooed on his leg, but pretty questionable.
And I look forward, Kurt, as you do, I'm sure, to the days and weeks when this momentous event simply becomes another conspiracy theory that never happened. I'm thinking by next Wednesday.
I would say it's done.
So Hegseth goes on. Here's some more what he had to say to the people at NATO who did not want to hear this.
Want, like you, a sovereign and prosperous Ukraine. But we must start by recognizing that returning to Ukraine's pre-2014 borders is an unrealistic objective.
Not happening.
Chasing this illusionary goal will only prolong the war and cause more suffering.
So this whole idea, well, the war could be over as soon as Putin and Russia pull out of the territory. He's not pulling out. You guys, you provoked the war. You poked the bear. Now he's
Boy, that
taking
hurts.
Crimea.
Whack,
He's
whack.
taking all those other territories. And he's not giving it back. You guys screwed up.
Shot to the
You
jaw.
guys-
And Jimmy,
What's that?
Oh, crap.
Shoot, I forgot what I was going to say.
Okay.
Well, you
You've
get a
got
lot
more
of
to
power
say.
out of those. I almost like those more than hitting
Well,
like
that's-
like
let's
that.
play it again.
Want, like
I
you,
like those little
a
palms better.
sovereign and prosperous Ukraine.
Because if someone turns their
But we
head,
must
like
start
you feel
by
like a big
recognizing
hook.
that returning to Ukraine's
Like that.
pre-2014 borders
if someone turns
is
their
an
head
unrealistic objective.
and you hit them here in the back of
Chasing
the head,
this
oh my
illusionary
God, does
goal
that
will only
fucking
prolong
hurt.
the war and cause more suffering.
You know, you can break your hand
As we've
from
been
it too.
saying at this show
But
from
if you use
day
that
one.
palm, like say,
Yeah. Jimmy, a lot of
Palm
people
there,
got preemptively pardoned
like that,
back in
and
2014,
then hit 'em with
and I think
something
that's
like
the big
that.
game changer.
or hit them
here.
like
Yes.
that,
The
and
same
then palm 'em. It
perpetrators have
doesn't
been
matter.
pardoned
That's right.
Either way, I like
going
that
back
palm to the
2014,
jaw.
Now, and then plus,
I
what's
think
his
better
name,
than, in some ways,
Graham
better
was
than
like,
I
"Well,
like
just wanted
hooks and
needles."
stuff.
Yeah.
I've had enough blood.
The hooks are good.
Yeah,
All
he's
punches
got one
are
more
good.
thing to tell you
It's
about
just some of them
how
have better
no US
structure, and
troops
you're less likely to
are going to be
hurt your
sent to
hand
Ukraine,
if you make a
and
mistake.
if you're going to send any
than
troops,
others
they got to be European,
some punches
and they
are-
can't be
are really
under
strong,
Article
and you
5.
can put a lot
What
of
is Article 5?
whipping
Article 5
power
is
into
if
them.
you attack one NATO soldier, you're attacking
But if,
all
you're
NATO
hit, if
soldiers.
you don't hit
And
just
so now we all
perfectly,
declare war on you. Watch, he's going to say it right here. Watch this.
and you
You
hit with
must
the wrong part of your
include robust
hand,
security
there's
guarantees to
good,
ensure
real
that the
good
war will
likelihood
not
you
begin
can break your hand
again.
if your hand
This
aren't
must not
wrapped.
be Minsk 3.0.
And what's kind of smart about like
That said,
arts
What
like
is
karate and Wing Chun and that, they
Minsk
hit
1
hard
and 2 were the
things.
peace agreements
So they
that were
practice
brokered
what is
between
the
Russia and
best
Ukraine
area of
to
the
have
body
peace.
to use
And then
to
Ukraine
hit
broke
hard
every one of
things.
those peace
Because
agreements
the
because
human
they were
body's
told to
hard,
by NATO,
man. If
by
you've
Boris
ever really hit
Johnson
anybody
and Joe Biden
cracked
and Andrew
them
Lincoln.
or
That's
collided
why.
shins
So that's
with,
what he means by
with
this
one
can't
of
be
your
Minsk
friends in
3.0. We
practice,
can't
you
have a
realize
peace
real
agreement and then
quick,
it gets broken
oh my
again
God, this shit hurts, man.
by UMFers.
And you
Okay.
kind of got to get used to,
United
you know, that you're
States
going to collide
does not
forearms, you're going to
believe
collide
that NATO
shins
membership
and
for
legs.
Ukraine is a realistic
And
outcome.
so that's why, you
of a
know, that's
negotiated
why they
settlement.
come up with the dummy practice.
Hey!
Thing and do all this stuff and get kind of used to hitting on something that's
Ukraine was
hard.
always the
And
junkyard
hitting
dog
it
for
without
America. They were
breaking
never
your
going to be
hands.
invited into
You
the
know,
house.
'cause that's a
They're
big,
just left
that's
to
a
sit
big deal.
outside, rain or shine, defending garbage.
All forms of
That's how
training
we
are
treated
good.
Ukraine.
You know,
If we
boxing's
cared about the
good.
Ukrainian people,
I
we would not
I
tolerate
do
the way they
boxing
grab
and
young men off
boxing
the street,
style training in my
stick them
Wing
into a
Chun.
van, and send them to the
Definitely,
front
for
line
sure.
to get slaughtered. Okay, he's got more to say.
'Cause, you know,
Instead,
as well as
any
kickboxing.
security guarantee must be backed by capable European
You know, I like a little karate too.
So
You know?
you guys,
Um,
not at the United States, not NATO,
I started
you guys, the
learning
Europeans,
martial
believe it
arts
if people
in
don't want to hear
the
this
late
at the Moscow
70s. I mean,
Security
geez,
Conference.
I learned a little
You
karate.
have to
I've
do it.
done
We're not doing it. We're no
a
more.
lot of different
Here we
martial
go.
arts, from Aikido and
If these troops are
Jiu-Jitsu,
deployed as
Judo.
peacekeepers to Ukraine at
you
any
know.
point, they should be deployed as
Good
part
to
of a
mix it up. Try
non-NATO
different
mission,
things.
Non-NATO.
and they should not be covered under Article 5.
There you go.
Now,
So you guys are
older, I
sending
really
troops
like the Wing
to,
Chun a lot.
to ensure a
You
peace
know,
between
when I
Ukraine
was
and
young,
Russia, and they're
It was
not
just,
going to be
Wing
considered
Chun's
NATO
cool
troops.
because Bruce Lee did
They're
Wing
not
Chun,
going
so
to
I
be
learned a
covered
little
under
Wing
Article
Chun.
5, meaning
And I
if they
found,
get killed by
you know,
somebody
people
from
that
Russia,
they also
the United States
knew
is
a
not
little
seen
Wing
as an
Chun,
attack
and I
on the
learned a
United
little
States.
from them.
That's what Article 5
And I
says.
definitely
You attack
don't
one
know the entire
NATO country, you
system.
attack all of
There's
us, and we have
definitely a
to,
lot
then
of
we have to
things
declare war. He's saying,
that
we're
I
not
could
doing that.
Definitely.
When you send soldiers to ensure the
Improve
peace,
my Wing Chun.
European soldiers, they are not NATO soldiers.
But
That's what
one
he's saying.
thing is,
We are
I'll say about my
that's
Wing
great.
Chun is it works really good.
I can't believe how well that turned out.
Me too.
You know, I hear some people say it
There also
doesn't
must
work,
be robust international oversight
and I've never
of
had
the
it
line
fail
of
me.
contact. To be clear, as part of any security
know, I-
guarantee, there will
Yeah,
not
maybe,
be
maybe
US troops
sometimes it
deployed
didn't work,
to
like in some situations
Bang!
it didn't work as good.
Bam! Hammer time!
But for the most part, it always
So
worked
this is
really
what's
good.
called great. This
Matter
is
of fact,
called
it
great
get-
news.
got me in
This
more
is called
trouble,
a great
you
thing
know,
that
and-
Trump and
And
Hegseth
they
are
get doing
doing.
like other things,
Now,
like
because you're a lefty poser,
like maybe
if you have a
judo or
hate folder
wrestling
for
would be a
Trump
wiser way to
and
deal with
Hegseth and
someone
anything to do with
rather
Trump,
than using Wing
that
Chun.
is a bad flex. If you were like
When you
Frederick
use Wing
Douglass,
Chun,
you would
usually
join with them to do
usually
right. 'cause
someone
what
gets
they're
hurt.
doing right now is right.
Judo, like arts like
You should be
wrestling
cheering.
and
You can
judo.
split.
If
You
you're
go,
a
hey,
lot more
that was the wrong way
powerful or
of
more
doing it.
athletic than
Not
the
to
other
maintain the same
person,
principle the whole time, and worry
You
about the
can
actual what's being done.
deal
about,
with
you know,
someone
keep about
and
who you
minimize
like or don't. I don't
how
care
bad
who
you're
you
gonna
like.
hurt 'em.
That does not matter. What
But
they do, you know, treat by its
my
fruit. So as
situation
long as the fruit's good,
was
I
I'm
don't
not
care.
wasn't athletic, I
So,
wasn't
it's
bigger
over.
than everyone, and I largely
This
if I
garbage
would
in
have just
Ukraine is
used
over,
pure
and
athleticism
the progressives, people like
to
Code
beat
Pink,
other people,
and the
I would
the
have
people
probably
who
got
are
my
consider
ass
themselves
kicked.
anti-war
So, you
should
know,
be
the
cheering
Wing
this
Chun
on and
concepts
thanking
definitely come in. You know,
Donald Trump and
the punches
Hegseth
are
for doing
awesome.
this. This is
I
music
think
to our
people-
ears, as Greg
where people
Glenn
fuck up
Greenwald
with their
said.
Wing Chun,
And
in
Greg
my
Greenwald.
opinion, is they try to get too fancy with it.
I
They
like
try to
Greg-
get
Greg
too
Greenwald
flashy
a little
hand
bit.
movements and
Well,
crap.
whose fault
Just
do you
hit the
think it is,
motherfucker.
Jimmy?
Hit plow.
Or Ukraine?
You
That
know,
was a question I heard asked of the president.
anywhere,
Whose fault is it,
a
of
good
killing
good
Collins?
Wing
When you say-
Chun,
Yeah.
I think,
No,
is
she's
like
from
Rocky
CNN.
Marciano in a way.
It don't matter. They're
Like
all gone
Rocky
now.
Marciano, anywhere he hits you,
So-
he's hurt. He hurt you. He's
There
hitting
you
you in
go.
your arms. He's sitting here, bringing your arms down, He's hitting you in
all
your
over.
jaw,
And
hitting you in your
here
legs.
is,
If he can get away with it, he'd hit you in the nuts.
Jeremy Scahill.
And Wing Chun's
And
kind of, in my opinion, Wing Chun's
he's
like
gonna
that
tell
too.
you
You just
that
hit
Trump,
anywhere,
even in
hit
his
their
first
arms,
term, had a better view
everything.
on
And that's
foreign
what
policy
I like
than
about
any of
it.
the Democrats
That's why
I've
it
had
works
in my
for me.
lifetime. Let's watch
You
it.
know, then maybe I might
When
be
Trump
able to
was
grab an
president,
arm bar with it or
Clearly
something,
Donald Trump
or
is not someone who
you know,
represents much
and
of my
put some
worldview, but
pretty
there
quickly
were
under
elements
control.
of Trump's foreign policy that represented
you
a
know.
departure
Most
from
of
what
the
we saw
time,
under the 8 years of
whenever I had a
Barack Obama, or
conflict,
kind of the elite
is
consensus in
smack
Washington,
someone,
D.C.
shove them
Anytime
down
we
on the
would point
ground,
out,
maybe
like
kick them
I
in
did
the
a
face.
story at one point where I was talking about Trump's
You
kind
know,
of hated
get away
opposition
from
forever
them.
wars.
I'm trying to
And
get
I
away
wrote
from their,
something and did a
you
podcast
know,
on
whoever
it,
they're
that
with.
Trump might be our best bet to actually get out of some of these. And I was making a complicated argument that had to do
Never
with the
lasted
nature of
very
this
long.
alliance between the neocons and the Democrats
You
and
know,
how Trump
Never wanted it to
Think
turn
of it,
into a wrestling match
represented
and having to
inside
grapple
our
with
set
someone
under
and be
circuit breaker.
stuck there
It's a state
when
fact.
the
Well, people
cops
like you
show
nuts,
up.
oh, Scahill
Fuck
is
no,
called
man.
Trump. Oh,
You
called
know, it's
Trump
more
a
like
dog. No,
fuck
call
someone
Trump a
up
dog.
as
The guy
quick as you
expanded drone
can,
strikes. He
smack
used
the
another
fuck
wall
out of
violence. He
them,
assassinated Qasem Soleimani. In fact, I mean, Trump is a
knock
highly
them out if
militaristic
you
president.
can,
But he had certain
whatever.
basic
You
things
know,
that he had
fuck
put on
them, you
record
hurt
that
them,
were a
throw
departure
them
from
down
the
on
way
the
that
ground,
Democrats and Republicans
kick them in the
thought. And I
head.
think we have
That kind
an
of shit.
obligation to point that out and not just
Wasn't
treat it as,
wasn't
you know,
pretty, wasn't
orange
you know,
Hitler is coming back
kung
into
fu
power. We
fighting
have a
or
responsibility
anything.
to see what's true and what's not.
So that's what we do here at this show. Now a lot of
But
people
that's
don't
kind
like
of
that.
you know
They just
that's
want me to
kind of
go
how
Orange Man bad,
I view.
Orange
I don't
Man,
really
people
have a
bad,
real super
Elon
soft
bad,
view of Wing Chun.
Tulsi
My
bad,
teacher, man, he
Cash
was
Patel
always
bad,
knocking
Hegseth
me
bad. That's what they
down,
want.
pushing me
Here's
down
Jeremy
with
Scahill
it, and smacking me
telling you
good
that's
with
ridiculous.
it. And,
We have,
and
a,
I
we
didn't
have
have the
responsibility to
right-
tell you the truth, and that's what I'm doing.
like
That's
if
what
I
I'm
didn't
doing.
protect
But you're never
myself
going to convince. And what
correctly,
he's telling you there
I'm getting
is
thrown
that
down.
for all
I'm
of
getting
Trump's
smacked
presidency,
until I
you were
learned
lied
what to
to by the
do.
mainstream media.
And then I didn't.
You were lied to.
Then I didn't get thrown
And he
down
wasn't
and stuff
making a
because you know
complicated argument,
because he
by the
couldn't
way.
because he taught me how
because
not
people
to
are
be
such
thrown
liars, they
down.
complicate
you
a simple
know?
thing, which is who is trying to make us not have a forever
And that's
war?
kind of how my
Who is
teacher
trying to
taught.
make things
We
transparent?
didn't. I didn't do.
If
Didn't
we
do.
stop
Did some
making things
cheese out, but
transparent,
not
that's
much.
the time to yell.
Yes.
Not the time where they're
You know,
making it
it-
transparent. That should happen.
But I'm never
He
going to
wasn't a
convince
very
if you
big
review for any
time-
of our friends who
my
are
teacher
successful in
probably
mainstream
wasn't very-
Hollywood that the television is lying
more
to
of a
them because the TV
strike-oriented-
has been so good to them. This is the hand that
Chinese
it's the hand
martial
that feeds
artist,
them,
but he
so
was
their
pretty good
opinion
at grappling
automatically
too.
voids itself.
Oh, they'll all turn on it once.
Because he
against
used to
the fake
always
president,
wrestle.
which it's doing right now.
Shit
They're all
with
getting
us.
mad.
But then he'd always
There's no
say
more,
at the time, like, look, you get out
To pay for
and you're in a
crap nobody
self-defense
wants.
That's right.
situation. Don't wrestle
And so
with
just
people,
let me- one more
man.
time,
You want
Glenn
to
Greenwald.
dominate and be in control of them. You,
Those
I
who
mean, you
fail
might have to
or
wrestle with
refuse
them,
to
but
see
you're
the
wrestling
massive opportunities
get
from this
to
Trump
dominate
realignment,
you
and
know,
instead
to where you
enslave
can-
themselves to the
where you're
broken,
in a position
ossified,
where maybe you
unimaginative,
might hold them down and hit
status
them or
quo,
something.
perpetuating Democratic Party.
You're not
or
just
some of
trying
the
to
dumbest people
wrestle
on the
to
planet. That would be your Kyle
just to
Kalinske,
hold someone
your crystal
down,
ball.
or just to pin, or just to get a.
The smarter and more honest leftists around the
submission
world can
holds,
see
'cause
this and give
A
Trump
lot of them
credit where it's due.
submission holds don't work
That
that
would be
well.
this show.
In
Yes, I
reality,
know he's talking about me.
I can put. It's a lot easier
The
putting
only
them
ones
on
who
someone
refuse
that's
are the media
cooperating
liberals who
with
built their
you.
life and brand and enslavement to the Democratic Party and can never see
I mean,
reality.
I put shit on. I broke people's arms and they kept
So
fighting.
great work by new Defense Secretary Peter
He's in
Hegseth.
different holes.
Great work by Trump.
So I'd rather,
When they
I
do right, I'm gonna
personally,
let you know. When they do
rather
wrong,
knock
I'm gonna
someone
let you know.
out
So you know why? Because I'm
fucking
not an
choke 'em
adult
out.
child of an alcoholic.
you know,
Because that's what
because
adult children of alcoholics do. They defend the status
people
quo.
can
They
keep,
defend the
you
Democratic
can
Party.
break someone's, you can break someone's
They
arm and
defend
they'll
their
keep on
abusers.
fighting, man.
And they don't want to know the truth. They don't want anything revealed.
But if someone's choked out or knocked out, they can't fight. You know, I think I like that.
That's right.
They're employees of your vote.
Yeah.
Look at it that way.
Preferably,
You're not supposed to go like,
if
well,
I
think
could
he's
knock
bad.
someone
I don't
out
care how he is inside.
and never ever fucking
care
go
how-
to
what
the
he did
ground or
outside.
any of
That's
that shit or have to fucking work work very hard at
Americans,
all, just be able
Just
to
like adult children
very
with
quickly
alcoholic
knock
they don't
them
get mad at
out.
the person
That's
screwing
what I'd
them.
rather
They get
do.
mad at the person who
And of
tells
course,
that
you know,
someone's screwing them.
maybe make sure their
I
head
liked
doesn't
Obama
hit the
and
ground
defend
and
him.
they
You're a
die, you
jerk.
know.
How do you like that?
I don't really want to see no one killed.
Our sponsors,
You know, that may not be
helped me with my
possible,
goal
though.
of protecting my financial future.
You know,
Being at the
someone's-
whim of the stock market
People
and the
come
current
at you so
administration
violently.
doesn't make me feel
You knock
safe
them
or
out, they
secure.
knock you, hit
But
them.
having a self-directed
crack 'em a
IRA where I
couple
can safely
times.
store gold and silver, assets that have stood the
You
test
knock
of
them
time,
out and they fall
no
down
matter
and
what
hit
the
their
economy
head.
or the government policies are,
That's
makes
bad.
sense to me. Colonial Metals Group has helped me create a self-directed IRA where I can have direct access to my assets.
Wing
Let
Chun
the team of
definitely is a
experts
cool
at
art.
Colonial
I
Metals
like it.
Group help you protect your family's future. Their level of professionalism and
I didn't
ability
always
to
think
listen
so,
make
though.
it easy for you to learn everything you need to know about preserving all you've worked
I
for.
thought it was,
Maybe
you know,
just-
I have to admit,
Maybe you're
when-
just getting started, or
there was a
maybe you're
period in my
already
life where I was
401k
really
or an
only
IRA.
cared about
Or
like
you're thinking about your
kickboxing
parents' retirement.
or
Regardless, Colonial
judo
Metals
and
Group
wrestling.
can
So
help.
I was really
We
into
put
that
together a
kind of
special offer
stuff.
for our audience. Click on the link in the description below,
And,
or call our special 800 number, and you can receive a safe
I liked all
and
the
up to
Wing Chun punches and
$7,500
stuff, but I didn't
in
really
free
care about
silver. That number is
anything else.
888-910-1419.
As I've gotten
We love
older,
working with Colonial Metals.
I really
chose
like
them when I purchased
the
my gold and
traditional
silver for my retirement.
Wing
No
Chun
matter
more.
who you choose to purchase precious metals from, make sure you know the fees up front
Or the
and what their
classical
markup
version
is,
of
and make
it,
sure
more
you're
than
getting
the,
a competitive
say,
price.
You know, like the Jet Kune Do version. Although some of the
Come see
Jet
us out
Kune
too.
Do
We're
Wing
going to be
Chun
in
people
Baltimore,
pretty
Hartford,
great,
Connecticut,
like Paul
Syracuse,
Canuck.
Atlantic
'Cause
City,
that's where
Levittown, New York,
he was the
Columbus,
source
New
I
York,
learned a
and
lot of
Providence,
my
Rhode
Wing
Island.
Chun from,
Go
buying
to
them videos
tvgo.com
in
for
the
for tickets.
90s. I watched those, I wore those damn things out where he put motorcycle helmets on people's heads and punch them and shit, and smack the shit out of them. Yeah, those were funnier than fuck, man. I used to think, man, I'd sure hate to be that guy wearing a motorcycle helmet.
All right, speaking in Munich today, JD Vance gave our European allies
But I mean,
a
he's like
much-needed
Jeet Kune Do,
wake-up
but
call.
he's
It was really 180
his
degrees
Wing Chun is
departure from
pretty
Biden's
frickin'.
week and
He's
week
awesome at
We're gonna
everything he
give you anything
does.
you want approach to Europe.
No,
So
I
calling
mean,
out the EU's increasing
hell, he's a
hostility
fucking
to
Navy
free
SEAL. What do
speech,
you expect?
Vance was
Them guys-
refreshingly blunt.
Largely, probably everything they do.
If you're running
is
in
pretty
fear
damn
of your own
good.
voters, there is nothing America can do for you.
Or pretty
Nor for that
bad.
matter, is there anything
depending on
you
your
can do
point
for
of
the
view.
American people who elected me and elected President Trump. You need democratic mandates to accomplish anything of value in the coming years. Have we learned nothing? That thin mandates produce unstable
I
results.
like Tai Chi too
But there
a
is
lot.
so much
And
of
Baji.
value that can be
I'm a
accomplished.
fan of
with the
Baji.
kind of
I've become a
democratic
fan of
mandate
Baji.
that
One
I
of my
think will
friends
come from being more responsive to the
come over to
voices
the house
of
and
your
he
citizens.
was a
Yeah, this
classmate.
novel concept where you actually listen to the needs
And
and concerns of your own
after
people.
my
And
instructor
that's what Donald
passed
Trump's
away,
doing
you
here in
know,
the
we
United
kind of
States.
all went our
European
separate
leaders need to do the same
directions
thing. So they wanted to speak
and
about
started learning
Russia,
other forms of
China,
Kung Fu
yet
and martial
the
arts.
threat here is not so much
And
Russia and China.
he
It's
started
yourself
learning Baji,
and your own approach to these issues.
Bagu,
But I think
Baji,
my favorite part of this piece
Baji
is when
Chuan.
the cameras pan to the audience, the
There's
faces
different ways you can say
that
it,
were used to getting their way and
but
taking us all for fools.
I was really
We may
impressed by
disagree
that
with your
kind of Kung
views,
Fu.
but we will
I
fight
was
to
like,
defend
holy
your right
cow.
to comfort in the public square.
This is a cool time to live. It's like I like those programs like Kevin Lee. God, he's awesome. His teacher. Boy, I'd like to learn from him, man. That guy is so slick.
Or worse yet, shutting down media, shutting down
What's
elections,
his name?
or shutting people out of the political process.
He's got some good Wing Chun, man.
Look, what do you mean the voice of the people matter? We're used to running the show. But this was a deeply pro-American speech. Because we don't apologize for who we are or what we believe. President Obama
You know,
did that.
if you got really, really good Wing Chun,
But that's not us.
the moment you touch
And in the
someone,
interest of comedy,
you should almost
my
have
friends, but also
fucked
in the
up.
interest of
you
truth,
should have them
I will
off
admit that
balance or
sometimes
backing
the loudest
up,
voices for
or you're
censorship
doing
have
something
come
that
not from within
it's
Europe,
not to their
but from within
advantage.
my own country, where the
That's
prior
real good
administration
Wing Chun.
threatened and bullied social
And that's
media
what that guy
companies to
does,
censor
man.
so-called
He's got you,
misinformation.
you know,
Misinformation,
the moment
like
he's got his
for
hands
example, the
touching you, he's
idea
got you
that
like this,
coronavirus had
or
likely
like that, or you're like that, you know, you're
China.
just in a
Our
bad
own
position where you can't do nothing
government
to the guy.
private companies to
He's
silence
good.
people
I've watched
who dare to
him.
utter what
Can't
turns
think of
out
his
to be
name,
an
damn it.
obvious truth. The government urged
I,
leaders to
I
report
know
any
I watch
fellow
more of
citizens
Kevin Lee
suspected
than I do
guilty
his
of false
teacher,
crimes.
but
In Britain
his teacher
and across Europe,
was the
free
guy
speech,
that
I
really
fear,
caught my
is
eye.
being
Kevin's
And he's right
looks
about
like he's
that.
really
Now, one
good
of the
too.
most powerful
He's
parts
got some good Wing
of
Chun.
Vance's address today
Definitely.
were his
Good
comments
Chinese martial
on
arts.
the self-harm that Europe has done to
Judo,
itself
Shuai
to
Jiao.
satisfy
Shuai
a
Jiao is
mythical
cool.
global order.
See, I'm lucky. I learned
nothing more
that right along with Tai Chi does a lot of Shuai Jiao.
Went to the
And
ballot box to open the floodgates to
the
millions
Ongs
of
that
unvetted
taught Kung Fu
immigrants.
here,
But you know
they
what
did a lot of
did vote
Shuai
for?
Jiao
In England, they voted for
in their
Brexit.
Kung
And
Fu.
agree or disagree, they voted for
They
it.
have all
And
kinds of
more and
cool
more all over
throws.
Europe, they're voting for political leaders who promise to put an end to out-of-control migration.
Now,
My
what you
teacher
say
was
here
into
is
that too.
Europe, and their elites there, their old cabal, tried
He was
everything
really
they
good
could,
at
everything in their power
Tai
to
Chi
malign
Mantis,
and defame,
Wing
sometimes even
Chun,
jail a populist
and he was
movement,
really good at
populist leaders.
boxing. And you
But
know, of
Vance
course,
perfectly assessed where this
his
will
son, and I don't know if
Well,
any of his
German
other
democracy,
students did any good at
With no democracy,
kickboxing.
American, German,
I
and
never was into
European will
kickboxing
survive.
myself.
It's telling
I'm
millions of
I'm a
voters that
pussy
their
man.
thoughts
I'm
and
no
concerns,
fucking
their
athlete,
aspirations,
and I'm more of a
their
fucking
pleas for relief
stoner,
are
fucking
invalid
guitar guy
or
that just
unworthy
likes
of
Kung
even
Fu, you
being
know.
considered.
And it's
I was never
problematic
the athletic
for
type.
folks for years, even before they were
Stoner
problematic,
guitar
before they were
guy,
Donald Trump on
just
the
likes
political
learning
scene.
Kung Fu so he
They
can
felt
protect
ignored,
himself.
they felt dismissed, looked down upon, but eventually the people will have their say. And today, J.D. Vance did America proud and having the brains and frankly the guts to tell the truth to those who presided over Europe's
Yeah, they're-
steady decline. Joining us now, Glenn Greenwald, Pulitzer
Our Kung Fu
Prize-winning
is pretty
independent
good.
journalist. Glenn, what I
It's
love
always
are
something
reading
you just
the
gotta keep
comments
working on.
from those back in the United States.
You know,
Politico today basically saying that
I practice every day. I'm this dummy.
his
Or I
our
practice up with
European
weapons.
allies attacked them
Even
by
more now
focusing
that
on the
you know
cultural
I'm
issues like
quasi
free
retired.
speech
Kind
instead
of
of
retired,
focusing
dude.
on how we need to, I
You
guess,
know,
I don't know, spend
COVID
billions of dollars
fucked
more
me
on
up. I got
continuing killing fields in Ukraine.
myocarditis and shit. Almost died.
If you go back and look
Had
at when
heart
the real
failure.
hostility toward Donald Trump
And
really emerged
I
from
haven't
establishment
worked in a
media and
while.
establishment politics,
You
it
know,
was
other
when
than
he
just
began
doing
questioning
cardio
the
rehab,
foundational
doing my
premises, the
Kung Fu
orthodoxies,
for
almost
cardio
religious
rehab,
varieties
just trying
of
to
Washington when it comes to foreign
get to
policy,
where I can do
particularly
shit,
when it comes to our
man, like
relationship to
carrying the
Europe. Why
groceries
is
and
it
stuff.
that we continue to pay
Carry
for
my
Europe's defense
trash
when
out.
the original
do
purpose
that
of NATO,
now.
which was protecting
I
you
can.
against the
It was
Soviet
such a
Union,
struggle
obviously
for a
doesn't
while.
exist anymore because
Then
there
it
is no
fucking
more
nothing.
communist Soviet Union
Terrible.
wanting to invade Western Europe. And so many
And
of
having
these
heart
premises
having
that
any
have
kind of heart
been
problem,
debated for so
no
long and have
joke.
created so much
Yeah.
destruction. These are the things that have gotten us into the wars, including regime
I've
change
always
in
been
Libya,
pretty healthy,
Sudan,
other than I'm a
into
dumbass
Syria,
and hurt
this
myself.
destructive
'Cause
regime
I
change
think I'm
there. All
indestructible
throughout the
or
world, these
something.
wars and this massive expenditure
You
of
know, had
military spending
injuries.
that comes at the expense of the American people.
Aside from
All
that, I've
of them
always
being
been out
questioned
pretty
because the
healthy.
foundational ideas and premises of it are completely false. The idea that the United States and the EU
You know, I
work
mean, I
together
broke
to
bones
promote
in my
democracy when
face.
so much of what the EU does is anti-democratic.
Broke my hands
canceling
before.
elections when it dislikes the outcome
You know,
or censoring
crashing
their political
motorcycles
speech.
and
It was
shit.
amazing to hear J.D. Vance go and tell them that in such
So I like to
blunt
ride
and
dirt
unapologetic ways.
No, Glenn, I'm sorry, but I just kept going back on the computer, on my feed. To
Which
look
I
at
don't
the
really
faces.
ride dirt
The
bikes or
faces
quads
always tell the
anymore.
story. They loved it when Obama went over and said we're dismissive and derisive and we're arrogant.
Them things
They
are
loved
so
that.
damn
They
fun, though.
They loved Obama.
I like getting
It's all-
crazy on them.
He was a powerful
You know?
politician, but they loved the
Racing.
idea of America kind of being on her knees. But in this case, J.D. Vance
I like
had just a
circle
different
track
approach.
racing.
Let's watch more.
The threat that I worry the most
Circle
about
track racing,
vis-a-vis Europe
motocross.
is not Russia, it's not China, it's not any other external actor. And what I worry about is the threat from within.
I think I like that kind of sport as much as I do
From some of its
Kung
most
Fu and
fundamental
wrestling and
values
kickboxing.
shared with the United
You
States
know?
of America.
I don't like football and
Your reaction
baseball.
to that, because again, the
Basketball
global
and that kind of
security
shit.
conference
I
that
never
was taking
did.
place were
He used to always try to get me to
that
play
he,
football and
corrected
shit.
the record on
I never wanted to.
Pence
I like
earlier about
wrestling,
Russia
but
and Ukraine, and that
I wasn't very good at it because I wasn't a very good athlete. So I had asthma and shit.
And like, wait a second, why are you talking about free speech?
So I got my ass kicked wrestling most of the time. But I still liked it.
What he's saying
It was
there is
fun.
true. If you
At
look
least
up
you know
as an
you're
American
learning
citizen,
something
whether
from
it's
it,
citizen of
and you
Germany or
gain
France or
practical
UK,
experience
you're not really
through
worried about
sparring and
Russia. You're
shit.
not worried about China. These
So,
are the things
I
that we
liked
learned.
it.
The
Just like I
Democrats
like
tried
judo
for years
too,
to say,
but you know I
Russia,
wasn't
you're
very good
scared
at it
Russia, you vote for
either.
Trump. That isn't
I
what
mean,
people wake up and think about. They
I was
wake up
good
and
at
think
like
about their
learning the
economic
katas
security,
and
that
shit.
threatened by
learning
all
the
these
techniques
policies that
and
their own
whatnot,
governments have implemented,
As far as
and
like
about
really
their freedoms to say the things that they were always
competed,
thought they had the
and I
right to
just got my
say.
ass,
And so when you
ass
have
kicked
Europe
when I tried to go up
basically
against
adopting
guys
a
that were
posture of
serious.
authoritarianism, of
It
internal
fucked me
repression,
up,
because
man.
they're afraid of their own people and they're afraid of the outcome of free elections, and we're supposed
You know, I mean,
to base our foreign policy and our
it is
security
hard.
on a
This
partnership with them, when we have our
competition,
own forces inside the
athletic
United States that have been doing the
competition
same
is
thing,
fucking
that kind of
hard,
censorship, that attempt to manipulate elections.
it's definitely
These
worth
are
it.
the real threats, the most proximate and immediate threats. And again, it's amazing to hear
You know,
a
if you have an
senior American
athletic
leader
type,
say, it's not
you're fortunate
China and
enough to
Russia
be
that's
very
working the right way,
athletic
at least not immediately.
and hard
It's
working,
people
you
within
know.
our own countries, the ones who have governing these countries in a way that have turned so many people off.
Now, I mean, if they had been successful,
I'm hard working
You studied
enough, I'm
correctly
just not
to compare
athletic.
conditions
And
in
not
parts
never,
of Europe
I never
with
could
those
remain
in
healthy
authoritarian regimes.
enough
And
because
that
I
is
always
why
get hurt.
I strongly oppose the impression that Vice President Vance has created that minorities are being suppressed or silenced in our democracy.
I couldn't imagine being
Glenn,
one of them
they took
MMA
great
fighters,
umbrage
man. What
to
them
what
guys
he
go
said,
through.
and before that, there was this idea that, you know, Ukraine was not going to become a member
I've
of
been
NATO. They
beaten
were
up
upset about
before.
I think the key that, which is what you
And I
asked about,
fucking
is the
hurt
fact that the only
fucking
reason
months
there's popular
after
movements
it,
in Europe
man.
and the United States around the world
And
is because these institutions
Oh
have
my
failed. They
God.
lost control of how
and
people
them dudes'
perceive them.
fucking
They have no more
ears
faith
are
or
always
trust in
fucked
the
up
people
like that.
that
Man,
they
they
want
must
to
be.
rule over.
I broke
The
the boat
amazing
like
thing more
bones
is that
in
you
my
never
face
hear them
and
look in the
shit.
mirror and ask why
And
that
had to
is.
have
What is it that
surgery
they
and had
did
the
that
bones
caused
put
it?
back.
The
to
only
get
thing they want to
together
do
and have
is
pins
blame,
and shit.
oh, it's Russia deceiving our people. It's
And them
too much
guys must
dissent
have
and
the
hate
same
speech and
injuries as
misinformation,
I
treating
do.
people
Because their
not
noses must
liking
be all
us. And
broken
so for
up,
JD
their
Vance to go and
faces,
say,
and they
no,
have
you know
scar
what, actually a
tissue.
lot of this is
And
your
I have
fault.
some of them
That's
issues
what really
like
makes
that.
them so angry and alarmed,
Too.
because that is the truth, and they
I'm
don't want
fucking
anyone
miserable.
pointing that out.
Yeah, I'm glad,
You
as
know.
he said, you know, friends
I can
don't let
imagine what
friends
them guys are
continue to
like,
traffic
especially
in
when they get
lies
older,
and half
man.
truths and censorship.
Like the
If you're
spider,
friends, you
man,
have
he
to give
kicked
your
that
friends
dude,
sometimes
snapped
friendly
his leg in
advice and
half.
constructive
It was like,
criticism. Glenn,
oh
great to
man.
have you on. We don't have you
I
on
hope
enough.
he's got
Thank you
enough
so much.
money, man. Because
And
I don't
coming
know
up,
how, you know.
what has happened?
I don't.
to the
I think
Democrat
after
Party?
doing
This is a
that,
serious
you definitely couldn't like
They
really work
didn't always
construction.
used to be
'cause
this way.
I can't
I'll
work
explain
construction
now.
anymore. I can't go, you know, carry tons of
This is
shit
a
up
serious
ladders and
question on a
shit.
Friday night.
I wish I could.
Are
It
there
sucks that you get
any
old and your body
sane
wears
Democrats
out.
left in Washington?
I like working.
Do any of them care about the billions being stolen from the
Kind of
U.S.
start missing
taxpayers?
the dudes
Stolen
you
through
work
waste,
with.
stolen through negligence, fraud, abuse. Now, presumably, their constituents
You know, especially,
care
you know,
what
you're
party
out, you
registration
work
they
like
have,
like
are
today's
not
a shitty
happy
fucking
that their
day.
hard-earned money
Wet
is
and
being
shitty.
flushed
Probably
down the
wouldn't
toilet.
work today, but
Well, today
Yeah, you
Doge
might.
announced that it was saving
you ain't
Americans
got, you know, you're broken enough.
$115 million
You gotta
after
work. You
canceling
might go out on a shitty day
167
like this
contracts,
and work.
including a
Try
$2.3
to.
million contract for, quote,
Let's do
equity
so.
assessments
Do a couple
of
things.
existing program policies at HHS. Now, over at the Department of Education, there are more equity scams robbing the taxpayers of money.
That
And they're
shit
being
makes you
zeroed
tough.
out, with Doge noting that the
And, you know,
Department of
'cause you endure
Education
some shit with
terminated
other
grants
dudes, you kind of
to the
like,
4 equity
you know, you're
assistance
kinda cool
centers
with
there,
them,
totaling
you know.
$33 million.
because you
This
know,
is my
like,
favorite.
oh,
It
yeah, this
included a
dude's tough
workshop
too, man.
titled
He stood out in the fucking
Identifying
rain and
and
worked with me all day in
Disrupting
that
Your
shitty
Whiteness.
motherfucking job. What we were
quote,
doing.
addressing power and privilege
Just wanted to be
toward
done with it.
anti-racist spaces.
And we worked real hard and got it
Now,
done.
remember, Biden's
moved on
team,
to
they
something
love
else.
the word equity. They could
Yeah.
make it mean anything they want,
Sometimes
right?
you got to do shit
And they were
like
obsessed with race and anti-racist fraudsters, basically making them rich. And those people cashed in huge with George Floyd.
Damn.
Of course, these
Other
efforts
side
did
of the
nothing
jaw.
to help Black America, but it did make the hucksters rich and briefly famous. Now, after
Now, a lot of
Trump
people say
won,
Wing Chun's
after he
fake. I don't
improved
think
his
it is.
standing among Black men, Latinos, young people, Do Democrats
That
really
punch
think
right here, man.
that defending
Oh,
this
fuck,
stuff
man.
is really a path to victory
I
for
knocked
them?
the
What's
fuck
their
out of
evidence
people with that
for thinking
one,
that?
man.
Their justification for believing that?
Hit 'em right in that
The
solar
management of your
plexus.
money, already identified by
Hit
Doge,
'em here
is
like that too.
staggeringly
Step
bad.
over this way.
It's indefensible. And it's only, I fear, the tip of the iceberg. We learned a little bit more just a few hours ago. We'll get to it. Now, Trump's new EPA administrator has only been on the job for, less than 3 weeks, but he's already found waste in the billions.
Roughly 20 billion of your tax dollars were parked at an outside financial institution by the Biden EPA. This pot of $20 billion was awarded to just 8 entities. The days of irresponsibly shoveling boatloads of cash to far-left activist groups in the name of environmental justice and climate equity are over.
Again, equity. Yeah, every time you hear that, watch your wallet. Now, when we're 36 trillion in debt, is that right now? When we spend more than $1 trillion a year just on our interest payments on that debt, how do Democrats justify any of this spending?
Oh man, why does she have to come on, man? That woman has the worst
But
show
what they
voice
do
of
is
all
they attack the messenger.
time. It's kind
We're
of
just
hot.
going to
though.
fight this. We're going to fight
You know,
this
she
with
ain't bad
everything
looking
we
or nothing,
got.
but it's just that show voice. It's like, shut up, bitch. Even though she's right. People are gonna. Oh my God, he told me. What the fuck's that woman's name? Ingram or whatever. Shut up. I wish all these motherfuckers would shut up.
Still trying to understand the Moo Musk. Still
Fucking
trying to get
Democrats
that.
are insane, man.
So
What the
how
fuck
is
ever
that?
happened to them?
How's that possibly the
Fucking
future for the
evil,
Democrat
man.
Party?
You
Has the
know?
entire
I
party
used to
been
always
happy with
side with
left-wing
them.
reactionaries
Almost
like you
all
just
my
heard?
life I sided with Democrats.
I'd like to ask
Oh,
the
you
Federal
know, I'm
Reserve
working,
Chairman
dude. Something
that
like
question
like
after
guns
he was
and shit.
confronted by them this week.
I was always against them with
When Musk
that.
comes knocking at the Fed's door,
I think you gotta be able to carry a gun, you know?
I don't have anything for you on that.
And
Would you
here's
like
one
to
thing
tell us
too,
today,
you know, this is
that
one
you
of
won't
my
let
reasons
those
why
into the
I'm
Federal
pro to
Reserve, have
Second Amendment.
access
If
to the
you let
systems
them
and the
motherfuckers
data.
take away the Second
So we don't-
Amendment,
I don't have any, we've had no,
how long has
no
it been
contact,
before
and
they
I don't
say
really,
you can't practice
I
Kung Fu?
have nothing for you to report
You
today on
know?
that.
Well, you
Or
know what happened in
can't
Treasury.
they have
You know
Kung
what
Fu
happened
weapons
over
or
to
something,
MPD,
you know?
And the people of this country are being violated because all of our
I'm
privacy
pro-weapon.
is being taken
I'm
up
pro
by
martial arts,
Elon Musk
pro
and Trump,
self-defense.
and we don't know what all they have on us.
Okay, he's thinking to himself, I'd rather have permanent inflation blamed on me and a root canal rather than sitting across from that woman. Anything.
But
Again,
anymore, I
why
have no
don't the
respect for
Democrats
them.
care about the waste? I'm gonna keep asking them. They don't have a good answer.
Could there be the argument that they might be missing the will of the voters who support
They lie
them
so much
and
about
might be too hung up on the process?
Trump, you know, that
The
it's
American
like,
people
God, man.
are alarmed
It's like, all right, you
about
don't
the
like him. What don't
possibility
you like about him?
that
You know,
Elon Musk
you don't like
and
this
his
about his
far-right
policy?
extreme minions
Okay, yeah, okay, I can kind of get you. I don't really like that particular policy
have
about him
access
too. But they're
to their
insane. They can't
personal
even
and
say why
financial
they don't like him. They're
information.
nuts.
Okay, that's lame. Democrats
You
have
know?
willful blindness here.
I voted
Have
for
you ever
Obama.
not seen
I didn't
Trump's
vote for him
approval
twice.
numbers?
I voted for him once.
Now, it's not like
I-
Democrats, though, have
you know.
never cared about reining in
Oh,
big spending.
Obama.
JFK was bothered by the
Obama in chief.
furniture.
I'm
His
sorry, I
wife's
voted
hospital
for
room.
him.
You see the post this morning? See that fella's picture by the
But there was no fucking way I was supporting Clinton. No fucking way.
They throw $5,000 away in a bank. Let's cut them another $1 billion.
I thought Trump was a joke in 16. I didn't even give a shit about it, you know. I'm like, oh, okay, whatever.
He was worried about $5,000. And Bill
Well, I
Clinton
kinda
cared so
thought,
much about
okay, this
spending
ought to
that
be
he worked
funny.
with Republicans to
And
balance
then-
the budget.
As 16 went along, I'm like, man, this guy's kind of serious, man. And then after you start kind of studying, because I always liked Donald Trump. I thought he was funny, and you know, I'd watch his show a little bit. He's okay. And he's always been part of stuff, and
And Al Gore
he always
touted a
seemed like
report that
you
showed
know,
how to cut government.
as billionaires
This
go, he
report tells
seemed
us
like an
how
all
to
right
cut waste,
billionaire, I
cut red
guess.
tape,
I mean, how do you
streamline
really
the
fucking know a
bureaucracy,
dude like that?
change
But
procurement rules,
change the personnel rules, and create a government that works
He
better
doesn't see. He
and
seems like
costs
he's been,
less.
always been kind of like a
Sounds
pro-American
like Doge. Sounds like Trump. Sounds like Musk.
kind of guy.
That wasn't so long ago. What on
Until
earth
the
happened to the Democrats?
90s.
Dean Phillips has some advice for them.
I don't know exactly
Sometimes
when.
it's
Sometime
better
in the
to
90s, he
join them
became a
and
Republican.
actually
He was
play
a
role
Democrat most
in
of
how the
his early
strategy
life.
works, rather than so pathetically, frankly, try to combat something that clearly is a steamroller, and Democrats are being
You
steamrolled.
know, I think I was a
Indeed.
Democrat,
Because presidents
predominant
don't create jobs or
Democrat until the
prosperity.
fucking
At some point,
late
they
90s
all look
too.
like bad street theater. Trying to barge into agencies
kind of
day after day.
after
Make
too.
what point?
You know, until I kind of just
Because Doge is
realized
inside
okay, these
working
guys are
hard,
just
a lot harder than
bullshit.
members of Congress, by the way, a lot more
they
hours.
don't care about the
to
American
find ways.
people one
That's
bit at
money
all.
that could be in the
Not that the
taxpayer's pocket or
Republicans
used to pay
do.
off the debt. Now, Democrats end up looking like the defenders of waste. Even the guy who recommended the protest
No.
strategy now think it's
I
backfired.
don't like any of these
I was
politicians
wrong.
very much.
It looked more like a senior.
I think I do like Donald Trump. I like the people that he picked. I really like Tulsi Gabbard. She was one of the people I liked the most
Good
at
moment.
16.
Look, in the end, will voters
You know, and then
identify
they
more
fucking did what they
with what
did. I
Musk
never
and
could
his crew are trying to do,
understand that.
trying to bring
Why
efficiency
they
to the
treated
government?
her like that.
Or will voters
I mean, geez,
identify
man,
with the
she's
Democrats
everything you
who
could
don't
want.
care
They
about the
could
government,
want a
who are literally
woman,
bankrupting us.
you know, brown
Bankrupting
woman,
us
or
for
whatever the heck she
diversity,
is. I
equity,
don't know what the heck
inclusion,
she is.
bankrupting us for
Hawaiian.
climate change.
I don't know what Hawaiians
and of course,
are. Are they
really
Samoans? I don't, you know, I don't know what
But I
other
think our
people
Democrat
are.
friends might
I know what I
consider
am. I'm
asking
Irish
themselves,
Hungarian.
what
You
will
know?
the average American appreciate more? The cost savings and the mission of Trump and Musk? Or whatever
Yeah.
this viper is
You
spewing?
know,
It's important.
they were all
that
in the, you know,
General representing
the girl
the
boss
respective
thing,
states
getting people of
stand up
different races involved in
and
politics.
enforce the rule of law.
And
Because
she was
Elon
everything
Musk,
that, you know, they could ever want.
individuals at the Treasury,
A military
and
officer
the President of these
that
United States,
served in
is
combat
not
in the medical
above the
corps.
law.
Isn't that
It's
like
like, holy
Rick from what
shit.
you said
But
5
here,
years
here
ago?
was the
Same
problem.
thing.
She was
But
honest.
Trump and Musk
She
want
wasn't
you
just
to be
a
free and
get in
prosperous.
line type. She was
Democrats
gonna,
prefer that you feel like
she's
victim
the type
all
of
the
person
time.
that probably
They
would,
want you in that
I'd be
victim
pretty
state
certain is going
mentality,
to do what's right.
relegated to posting all day on TikTok.
And they didn't want that. They just want order followers.
I'm gonna let it shine.
Oh, this shit
Don't
is
let
crazy,
fascists
man.
it out.
God.
I'm gonna let it shine.
Oh, you should have heard the crescendo at the end. Joining me now, Alex Marlowe, Breitbart editor-in-chief, and Matt Towery, political analyst and pollster. Alex, now we just
Oh, man,
found out
Democrats
late
gotta
today
fix
that Doge
themselves. Blue
recovered
Dog Democrats got to come back and take
1.9
charge, man.
billion in HUD money that was somehow
Or the
Mrs.
party's
Edwards
fucked.
misplaced
I'll never vote for him
under
again.
Biden. It's
I mean, even the
people who are
Teamsters
losing
don't
almost
support
$2
him
billion,
no more, you know?
and this is just the first 3 weeks or so. What comes next?
Oh, this is never going to stop, Laura, and it's so glorious. I got to talk to Senator Ernst, who runs the Doge Caucus in the Senate, on my podcast this week.
Terrible.
And she said $2 trillion is going to get cut easy.
I guess
she
the
thinks we're
Republican
already at
Party's
a
gonna
quarter
be
of a
the
trillion now.
representation of the working class
It's a year and a
now.
half long project. Look, they've got the Democrats
The
completely
Democrats sure
cornered
as
to your
hell
point
are.
here. It's total checkmate. They're now in a position where they're defending
Democrats
every
are
single
the,
insane expenditure that we've ever had. And they're doing stuff like all
You know,
these
like
people
the
who decided
administrative
working at
class.
home from their bathtubs
People who went to college
and
and they
posting on
got
Instagram about it for the federal
administrative
government
jobs
undermining
and
Trump's
shit.
agenda.
That's who they
And they're
represent.
defending that we need to
They
keep
represent
supporting those
white-collar
people.
workers. They
One of
don't-
the best
they're
sound
not
bites
the
I ever saw in my
blue-collar.
life was when Musk was in the Oval Office with Trump.
You know?
And one of the reporters tried to dunk on Musk and say, "You lied and said that we were
I think they
paying
hate
for
us
condoms
blue
in
collar.
Gaza."
Well, they
and
obviously
really
they
condoms
called
in
us all
Mozambique.
fucking
Musk gave him the
deplorables
best answer I
and
ever heard.
shit.
First, he said,
That's why Clinton
"Well, first of all,
lost.
I'm going to get stuff wrong, and you can correct it." Totally mature adult response. Then he said, "Come to think of it, and you see the machinations of his brain. He's working through it. Condoms in Mozambique. Why are we paying for those?" And now the Democrats are all 100% unilaterally on the side of the condoms in Mozambique people. Thank you. Thank God we have this
All right,
money.
Matt, again, I'm trying to really figure out what the Democrats' plan is here. We know they're doing the lawfare. That's a separate track. I think they're eventually going to get goose-egged on a lot of these decisions, but that might slow down Trump for sure. But again, what are they offering people except a lot of bad chants, a lot of theatrics, and really just, you know, blaming the messenger with Musk. I mean, we have a couple polls out that show that people are pretty fine with what Musk is doing. They don't have a problem with that. And I don't know if you have any polling on that too, Matt, but people seem like they're pretty glad. You know, 42% plurality, favorable opinion of Doge. That's what the media covered. Matt.
Well, Laura, we did a poll with Insider Advantage, our company, and Robert.
Well, shoot, I probably need to take a walk for a walk. You want to go for a walk, buddy?
When you ask the
Seafood
approval
buddy!
rating for what Musk is doing, and his approval rating, not should he have so much power in the White House, which is how the
It's
other
Seafood
polls
Buddy
are.
on there.
You find that Musk is up by 5 points.
Holy
over
cow, I got
He's
45
up
minutes
almost
on this damn
80%
thing.
approval among Republicans, whereas last
You want to go for a
year,
walk, Seafood?
538 tried to say that actually Musk was almost upside down with Republicans. We have two alternative worlds right now. The Democrats are stuck in their
Yeah,
old
motherfucker,
world
you better
of
be
the
taking
old
me for a
legacy
walk.
media, and the pollsters who can't ever get it right when it comes to
See
Trump.
my red
And
flashing
then the rest of
eyes?
the country is slowly coming to great publications like
I'm a
Breitbart,
kung fu
like I
master.
look at every day now to know what's really going on. The pollsters like ourselves
I'm a
who
master
actually
of
get
dog
the
kung
presidential
fu.
elections right and can find the Trump voters. And I think slowly but surely they're running out of. All last year, you remember, I'd say, well, people don't know about something.
Yeah, good boy.
They don't know to vote against it.
I
But
didn't
now
sweep
it's
the floor,
like
huh?
that, with X putting information out, with Trump being
Alright,
as
well, I'm
active
gonna
as
end
he
this
is,
video.
with many more
And
publications
maybe,
like Breitbart coming
maybe I'll
along,
make another
with the
one. I
job
don't
that
know.
everyone's doing, and the numbers proving that they're right.
Alright,
These
see
guys
ya.
are beginning to look like